employee ID.
Operator 28.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
Operator 28.
Can you repeat that?
Operator 28.
Okay. And what did I call? They hung up after having me on hold. It was the Department of Justice. Let me call back. This is how my life is. The time now is 7:36.
Information on how to email the Department of Justice, press 2.
That is
If
the
you
number.
would like information on the mailing address for the Department of Justice, press 3.
Can you have my director call?
Yes, I'm sorry. What did I call?
Department of Justice.
Okay, and what was your operator number?
18.
Okay. Yes, I have been, I did reports online and sent emails and I wrote letters and I never got a response. And when I went back to try to get some updates for the Northern District Court and the Department of Justice there, the police department came and gave me a criminal trespass. So I'm just railroaded and trapped because of corruption. And for this extreme level, I just don't understand why I'm being deprived. The United States can deprive me of law enforcement and corruption and criminal activity for so long under the radar. So if they are railroading me and trapping me and handcuffing me at the FBI and violating me and arresting me for reporting their crimes, what do I do?
Hold on a moment.
The last operator hung up. I experience that all the time. It's the strangest thing.
Hold on just a moment. I'm going to transfer you over to the Office of the Inspector General.
Are they open? Will I speak with a live person? They don't call me back.
Hello, you have reached the... Sorry, I could not find this option. Hello, you have reached Inspector
It's
General.
glitching.
To report what you believe is wrong. Sorry, I could not find this option.
I just hit the keypad. I didn't
Hello,
push anything.
Sorry, I could not find this option. Hello, you have reached the Department of Justice, Office of the Inspector General. To report what you believe is wrongdoing by an employee of the Department of Justice or within the Department of Justice program, please press 1. To leave a message in the general mailbox, please press 2. To speak with someone, please press 3. Thank you.
It's not an accident. That's why I'm recording it.
Sorry, I could not find this option. Hello, you have reached the Department of Justice, Office of the Inspector General. To report what you believe is wrongdoing by an employee of the Department of Justice.
I think they're identity thieves. How is this possible? Repeatedly over and over. You have to show it. For people to look at all the threes, the times that I've tried to press 3. And when I wasn't recording, I just could not fathom what was happening. I was so desperate, and people were hanging up in my face, starting arguments, glitches, all kind of glitches, keeping me from things. And then I realized it was deliberate. This is gaslighting at its finest, and they're using my device to violate, knowing nobody would ever believe my story. That's why police had to come, sit, and threaten my arrest for trying to report what was going on with my phone.
Sorry.
So I have to go through a prompt to get here. So I got to hang up and call back because it's glitching. 3.
Sorry, I could not find this option.
So at Red Roof Inn, I was just at the hotel. Just calling at the hotel, trying to report the government. Knock, knock. It's the police. This is how they treated me. What is happening? What are you doing here? You're having a mental crisis. Do you realize you're a missing person? What are you talking about? 2 police. I have been calling, reporting your crimes all morning. They just knock, knock on their own. They're monitoring my phone, committing crimes, heard me reporting them and got mad and just came up in a con. This is how it was when I wasn't recorded. So then they realized I was recording them and walked off and enlisted Red Roof Inn to lie on me to get me out the hotel room and assaulted and arrested me. This is just how it was. So before, it would knock, knock from nowhere. At the bus stop, police come. At ordering food, the police department comes, trying to set me up. just from nowhere. And I have it uploaded. How are you at a fast food restaurant? Don't you see, if somebody actually were to think, how is it that you came to a fast food restaurant to violate someone? You're not even at ordering food long. Bus stop alone with a crime. It's just amazing. Calling the Department of Justice back.
Department of Justice, Operator 18, how may I direct your call?
Yes. Do you have any information on like the process and different departments? Do you have any information on witness protection? What agency assists with getting in witness protection?
No, I do not.
You know, the suspicious thing is everywhere I've been, because I'm a government witness. Everywhere I've been, no one has ever known. And the departments that I suspect, I'm not able to speak. And the locations I suspect, I've realized that this is a distinctive pattern. I'm just not quite certain if I'm calling random people why they won't let me speak and explain my experience. So I don't really know what to do, because everywhere I go, no one knows. Now you can't hear me? This is a pattern.
Okay.
You're not muted. Is there a particular reason why you have? Is there a particular reason why you feel intimidated by me speaking?
What? I do not feel intimidated by you or anyone else. I can transfer you over to the.
But I'm not able to speak. It's 7-something in the morning, 7:46. Typically, when someone calls in, you don't want them to know.
You want me to transfer you to witness protection?
Oh, you have that? Okay, I thought you didn't know about witness protection.
I didn't say anything. I wasn't able to say anything. Hold on just one moment, please. Office of Enforcement Operations.
Is this witness protection?
This is Office of Enforcement Operations.
Yeah, I've experienced this years. So it's not witness protection? Do you help with witness protection?
What state are you calling from?
Texas.
Texas? What, what city? It's a district.
ASA?
It's Assistant United States Attorney's Office.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Let me look it up with my phone.
I have their phone number, but you need the district. The southern.
Okay, I have questions. So I did a complaint or a tip online. I emailed a tip. It was an extensive tip because I have multiple different false arrests and I'm being targeted and violated. When I'm in jail on false charges, I'm being violated in jail, mistreated, deprived of my rights, left in jail with time served, put in isolation and all kind of things, and bullied and mistreated and malice. So nonetheless, I've made reported multiple different times and was ignored, went to the Northern District Court and was bullied and removed for cover-up. Like 6-7 police came and threatened my arrest for trying to get law enforcement and report their crimes. So I also wrote letters. I did a certified letter that it was odd that the post office had me pay $70-something for. And they claim, and I never got confirmation that they got it.
Right. You need to contact the AUSA in the southern.
Well, is there a particular reason why the Department of Justice is denying me assistance if there's corruption with government officials? I thought that's what.
I have no idea of that part, but
here's the thing: for years, I just keep getting transferred for almost 10 years to location to location to get nowhere. Especially calling on my phone. Operators would hang up in my face and cover for crimes. If I did a report to the Department of Justice, I just don't understand why you guys are depriving me of a follow-up, as well as every other agency I've been to.
But the procedure, you need to start with the AUSA.
I'm just not really being heard. I would like to concentrate on the report I've done to the Department of Justice while I'm with the Department of Justice on the line with them now. I would like to know what happened with my multiple different reports before I get forwarded to another agency like what's happened almost 10 years.
You're not getting forward. You need to contact.
I would like to concentrate on what happened with my reports to the Department of Justice.
Ma'am, the procedure is to contact the AUSA.
That's not the procedure.
Where the event and where you're at.
It's fruitless. So you're denying me a follow-up to what happened to my multiple letter
I'm
and
not
all my
denying you of
tips, and
anything. I don't
then
know
we're
about
going
any
in there and then
reports.
having the
I'm
police
telling
department
you
remove
what is the
me.
procedure and what you do. You need to contact the AUSA. I provided you the district. You need to know the district. It's the Southern District.
I'm just not quite certain why I'm calling on my phone, why I keep repeatedly experiencing this, why I'm deprived of follow-ups for all my reports.
Again, you need to contact the AUSA, the Southern District of Texas.
They're scammers. It's just being controlled. The FBI won't give, she hung up, the FBI won't give me a follow-up, no location will. So Amazon, while I'm waiting on this to open, Amazon stated that someone was trying to break into my Amazon account. Obviously, someone is breaking into all of my accounts. But it's something when you're deprived of law enforcement dealing with all this insanity. So I'll just have to sit in it like I've had to sit in it a decade plus. So now it's glitching. It was a system, the prompt. Now it's transferring me directly to a voicemail now that it's open. It changed.
You have reached the voicemail of the United States Attorney's Office. Please leave your name, telephone number, and brief message.
My
Your
calls
call
aren't
will be
returned.
returned
I
as soon
waited
as
for
possible.
nothing.
Thank you and have a great day.
So prior, I went through a prompt, and then after I went through the prompt, it said the office is now closed. And it gave the business hours. Now, like I said, it's being transferred directly over to the voicemail.
Service communication, how can I help you?
I'm sorry, what did I call?
Hold on just a moment. Hold on.
You need me to hold on?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to get you on my earpiece. Hold on just a moment, okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
This thing. All right. Anyway, I can't get you on there. How can I help you now? This is US Marshals headquarters. How can I help you?
Yes, I dialed the number for witness protection.
Okay. Hold on just a moment. Let me get you over there. Hello.
Yes, may I have your name?
May I ask who's calling?
Weird. My name is Kiana.
I'm sorry?
Kiana. And may I have your name?
How may I help you?
Oh, are you trying to hide something?
I'm sorry?
Are you trying to hide something?
Ma'am, am I able to help you out with anything?
I just wanted you to know who I was speaking with. Were you trying to hide, conceal who you are?
No, ma'am, this is a government call center. I can direct your phone call and help you out, but I need to know how I can help you.
Okay, I asked for witness protection, but I'm not quite certain since I've been targeted why people want to conceal their identity. Because typically the call centers want you to know, expose your operator ID if people question that. So if there's a problem with the call, then they can be forwarded to the right person to do complaints. But since I've been targeted, everyone's trying to conceal their identity. I did ask you your name. Do you have an employee ID?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't give out names on this number, but if you're calling about the witness security program, I can let you know that the way for you to get into the program is through your local United States Attorney's Office. That's the AUSA. That's the Federal Prosecutor, and they're the ones that can sponsor you into the program.
Okay, so online it says the US Marshals get you in witness protection?
So I can tell you that the way for you to get into the program is to be sponsored by the Assistant United States Attorney, also in conjunction with working with a federal law enforcement agency such as FBI, DEA, or ATF, having
There's a problem with the FBI because I went to Texarkana and reported. When I went to Texarkana, I was ignored. I went to Tyler and was intimidated and bullied. And in Dallas, I was handcuffed. In Waco, they called the police for me reporting crimes that they were committing. So I told Waco FBI that I was going to call the police on them. And then the police came, four police came and intimidate me and gave me a criminal trespass. So the ways that you guys are recommending isn't working. I just don't understand why the government is so out of control and nothing's repeatedly done. And then in addition to that, I'm not quite certain why you're trying to hide your identity. I didn't think that in,
I'm
working
not
for
sure
call
about
centers that
all
you
the stuff
had that
that you're
right.
mentioning.
I thought if someone asked you for your name, you had in your job description, you had to give an employee ID or some identifying information in case they wanted to do a complaint. But now people try to conceal who they are on my calls and then have to wait till they realize who they are. Any kind of scam, I gotta fix my
So
headpiece. I can't hear you until they find out who I'm calling. So you're refusing to let me know what your name
besides
is or your
answering that
employee
question,
ID?
can I help you with anything else?
I asked for your name or employee ID. And I'm not quite certain why so many people wait till I'm talking and try to talk at the same time. If you experience that for a decade, it's kind of like harassment, low key harassment. It's a way of taunting someone and playing mind games and getting no accountability for it. But it's call after call after call, and people do it in person. It's procedural. You wouldn't know how it felt unless you actually went through it. So if you're unwilling to give me your name, I guess that's a red flag. You're doing something wrong. That's uncommon for people to repeatedly try to conceal their identity. My phone said that this was witness protection. My phone said this was witness protection, but I repeatedly get treated like this, especially when people want to try to hide who they are. So you're saying that
if that's what you're trying to do and try to get into, you need to contact your local United States Attorney's office and work with them on being sponsored into Witness Security Protection Program.
And what is this that I call?
That's the way for you to get in.
What did I call?
I'm sorry?
What did I call?
It's whatever local office.
Who are you with? Who are you with? Who are you with? Who are you with?
Ma'am, can I help you with this? Is a government call center, and
for what agency?
That if you're calling about the Witness Security Program,
I'm just not quite certain. I don't know if I have business with you. That's why I'm trying to find out what agency I called, because I may have business with you too as well. But you don't want me to know what I call.
All right, miss. If there's nothing else I can help you with, that'll be it.
You don't know who I called?
All right. Have a good day.
It's 8:10 a.m. They'll do this all day. If you want to be on the phone 12, 15, 16 hours to try to save your life, 12, 16 hours, they'll be on the line trying to destroy it. 8:10. I've started as early as 4 a.m. calling 24-hour places that were open 24 hours to get nowhere. This isn't just aggravation because of a day. This is an aggravation because of a decade. Someone that has never been homeless in her life forced into homelessness for this extended amount of time. Just imagine if you were forced into homelessness, away from kids, family, any kind of support system, all services you come in contact with just about denied, keeping you down systematically under the radar. So if you were enforced to be homeless and on the streets, how would you like it?
Wiley Price's office. Chances are we are assisting other constituents. Please leave your name and number, and we will return the call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, I wrote a long letter to John Wiley Price asking for his assistance with a lot of corruption in the Dallas Metroplex area and outskirts. And I came in to speak with him in person because I really wasn't getting anything addressed over the phone. And constables removed me to keep me from speaking with him and threatened my arrest. So if I'm going through something like this, you can see it's pretty extreme and I do need direction. Please contact me back. So that's how they handle that. I keep calling that number for the location they told me to call, and it's going straight to a voicemail. And I've left messages for years at locations, decade or so, and these people aren't calling me back. Problem solved. Just force her to leave a message and never call her back. Yes, may I have to speak with the victim's advocate? Do you have a direct line for the advocate?
Let me check. Give me one moment.
Okay.
Services.
Is this Crystal?
Yes.
I spoke with you and you told me you were going to send me an email of your job task and duties so I can get assistance.
Let me transfer you and we'll get that to you. Okay?
I'm sorry. Were you transferring me? Are you a victim's advocate?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not quite certain of why I got to be transferred. I wanted to speak with you.
Well, I was going to transfer you to my supervisor.
I'm not quite certain. Is there something going on that I should know about? Why would you need to transfer me to a supervisor? And I'm asking to speak with a victim's advocate?
Wait, you're asking for my job description? We went over that already. Remember when we went online and we
No,
looked at
you
my
told
job
me that you were going to email me your job task so I can know how you could help me, and you were very
No,
upset. And
we
all
actually
victims
decided.
advocates are furious with me trying to flee abuse that the government's been enlisted in. And I'm not quite certain
No, we
because
actually
conspiracy to
decided.
violate rights, trying to intimidate someone and cause fear and tormenting them in the free right
Okay,
of services, I thought
ma'am,
was in a conspiracy.
you never let me talk, so I'm actually gonna end the phone call. Okay, you have a good day.
Yes, Crystal hung up in my face as well as a Trefla pull. A lot of people have done it, so I'm just not quite certain why so many people are furious with a woman fleeing abuse. My abuser says that he has the government in his pocket, so I'm just not quite certain on why I'm being mistreated by armies full of people. If someone is reporting death threats, why would the police department take their freedom and violate them? So I think I need to speak with her supervisor, but haven't been able to get anywhere in like a decade. There's too many people committing crimes and not having accountability for it.
Okay, hold on while I find out who her supervisor is, okay?
Okay. Rocky start. Already
Okay,
there's a
ma'am.
lot of hangups. Hello?
I'm gonna transfer over to Sergeant Swanson, okay?
Okay.
Jason, this is Swanson.
Yeah, I have a question. I've been in a domestic abuse crisis for almost 10 years, and I've experienced strange things. And all victims advocates and all organizations won't help me, and a lot of them chose to conspire with psychological abuse. And then they want to direct me to police that I've reported or enlisted in my abuse. So I'm being forced and railroaded to speak with my abusers. But I'm not quite certain on why someone that's reporting death threats keeps getting violated, hung up on, and has to endure so much psychological abuse and then forced to talk to abusers. Why would every last victim's advocate, everyone that I've ever spoke with, cover as well as some of them conspire with my abuse? And why is no one investigating the conspiracy to violate rights crimes, which is a felony charge?
Do you have a case number?
I have did multiple different reports, but officers were covered for it, and then with eyewitness testimonies and enlisted an organization to deprive me of services. And nobody's being held accountable for these crimes they repeatedly keep committing.
And are the people that are committing crimes against you? Do you know who they are?
Right. Do you can I give you my information and you look up the reports? Now I'm not quite certain on what to do because I have to speak with a victim's advocate, and why would all advocates that I've ever came in contact with deprive me of assistance? And then, like I said, a lot of them bullied me.
You talked to our crime victims liaison, Crystal Lotta?
She hung up in my face. This was her second time doing it. She said she was going to email me her job description because all victims advocates redirect me to another location to never get assistance. They've been doing it, like I said, almost a decade. All of them. It's not left up for error. All of them are controlled and to mistreat me and deprive me of assistance. But for years, I'm redirected to police when I'm asking to speak with the advocate. It's bizarre. It's like police are enlisted in abuse and enforcing crimes in my abuse. And they don't want me to get help or support system, and I'm being illegally monitored in everything that I try to do to build my life back up and flee them. They're interrupt me escaping abuse they're enlisted in. You'd have to prove something like that repeatedly. It keeps happening.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. What's your first name?
It's Kiana. Yeah, it happens a lot. I was telling you 2 or 3 times. And each time I was telling you, you started talking.
I apologize. I was saying it back to you as you were going.
Okay, well, let me try again. Yes, Keyana. Clark, CL.
Clark. And your date of birth?
Yeah, I did customer service, and you wouldn't hear what I'm saying if you're talking while I'm giving you the information. I experienced that a lot. So that's why you
Okay.
couldn't understand what I was saying repeatedly and over, because each time I tried to tell you, you were talking too.
Thank you for correcting me.
You're welcome. So you're Swanson. May I have your badge number?
6866.
Is there? Do you know why all victims advocates would not assist me and don't follow policies and protocols, and why all places I've ever been to, who even churches that were going to assist me, eventually retract on help?
I do not.
Okay, if I'm someone's reporting that, is that a crime for someone to influence people to leave someone else in a crisis for almost a decade?
It depends on situations. I'm not being able to pull you up. I don't have you listed. I have 425 of 75 listed in the Victoria Police Department.
Yeah, I've experienced this. It's weird. So if things are just made incredibly complicated, let me give you the police report numbers. One moment.
Oh, perfect.
And then I have another one of me reporting that government officials and other parties are being influenced.
Okay.
That's 250231114. I'm sorry, did you give me your badge number?
6866.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do because every location, you're Swanson. Why would the victim's advocate want me to speak with, are you a sergeant?
I am.
Why don't victims advocates want to help me? Can you imagine how that would feel to have law enforcement being listed in your abuse and use their badges and guns to keep you from getting assistance to fleeing? Because they're on your abuser's payroll, so they flash badges and guns and enforce crimes on civilians, even people in church. Enforcing, terrorizing family members so they have nothing to do with their family member, their loved ones, and keep them from giving them any kind of support, love, and compassion through a crisis. They're witnessing hitting them, the police department cover for hit and runs and all kind of other felonies perpetrated against their family. I'm just not really getting a lot of direction from law enforcement, and the ones I speak with really are not bothered by a high level of corruption, criminal activity, and insanity. That may be the
It looks
problem.
like you're saying you're being harassed by government officials in Austin. It was made that no one was taking her report. Receiving emails saying about the case in Austin. Well, we don't have jurisdiction in Austin, right?
That's what they're doing in reports. They're sabotaging. I informed the location that the police that they set up a case in the new location, and I got death threats, and they didn't report, investigate it. And there was also eyewitness testimony. And then in addition to that, I reported to them the organization deprived me of assistance. The police officer came and demanded that to speak with my counselor alone. And they all started denying assistance and covering for crimes at this organization. So they keep falsifying information in reports as alibis on why they're denying me law enforcement. They've been getting away with it years. So tampering with evidence is a felony, but people don't seem to be getting these charges. They deliberately falsify information so they have an alibi for denying me law enforcement.
So do you live here in Victoria?
I wanted to concentrate on what happened when I was in Victoria and with the crimes that I reported in Victoria, why I've been deprived of law enforcement, and why the victim's advocate would condone crimes and abuse and cover for them and deny me of assistance, and why I would be transferred to your sergeant.
Yes, that's right.
And I'm repeatedly asking to speak with victims advocates, why have I been robbed of that for a decade? All of them. If I wasn't assaulted and arrested attending a support group.
So there's lots of support groups out there.
I just thought I would have to first come in contact with someone that abides by the law, and it's been impossible for a decade. I've reported to you a lot of criminal offenses, but the police department seems to repeatedly conspire with them and cover for crimes which are charges. But you guys haven't received the charges. So I did report, and I've been railroaded and trapped that the police department in Victoria has not abided by the law, and an organization is leaving me in abuse, as well as every victim's advocate, an organization I've ever came in contact with in some churches. In fact, one of them, I was drug out of it and thrown down on concrete for begging for help. So if you're unwilling, and as well as everyone else I come in contact with, to abide by the law, is there an exit strategy for me to leave this country? Because the people haven't held you guys accountable for a decade plus.
Yeah, nobody's holding you here. I mean, if you want to go to another country,
I just need a strategy, because I don't know how to, like a victim's advocate, and you guys keep interrupting it. Or a support system to kind of flee. That's a scary experience, to live in a country that is enforcing your abuse and does not get accountability for crimes they repeatedly commit. I've tried to call all over the place, and each place I'm calling conspires with crimes. I tried to get a motivational book, and can't order it from Amazon. I tried to get a motivational book and can't order it from Amazon.
I'm just gonna hang up.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to report crimes again.
You haven't reported a crime yet.
I was trying to report it, and you talked over me and then blamed me for what you were doing. I've had to endure the psychological abuse years, and people need an alibi for hanging up and mistreating me after I've invested a lot of time in a phone call. So everyone's furious.
You probably need to speak with Gulf Bend. They handle all kinds of issues, and they also provide support services that do not involve law enforcement whatsoever. They're medical doctor, they're doctors that deal with mental health and stuff like that, and they can get you the resources you need. And the nice part about it is that if your issue is with law enforcement, they're not law enforcement.
But yeah, so here's the problem. I've tried to get the mental health treatment, because all places railroad me and being violated by the government, and they deny it. So your solutions aren't working. When I get the mental health treatment, they hung up. Are you still there? He hung up.
Police department?
Yes, I just simply, may I have your name? Is it Cynthia?
You need to speak with Cynthia?
I was asking your name.
Okay, hang on just
I'm asking you your name.
Yes, there's someone here named Cynthia. Yeah.
No, what's your name?
My name?
Yes.
My name's Kedry.
Okay. I asked to speak with the victim's advocate, and I was transferred over to Sergeant Swanson, that hung up in my face and directed me to Gulf Bend to report crimes. For mental health treatment. I've been treated like this for a decade. Is there a particular reason why I can never speak with the victim's advocate?
That I do not know. I can see what the number is and transfer you.
Okay, thank you, because I asked to speak with a victim's advocate, and I've been robbed of it and actually assaulted and arrested for trying to attend a domestic violence support group, which is criminal, but the only people only want me to get mental health treatment and are not holding people accountable for their actions.
Hang on just a second.
Okay, thank you.
Number. I don't know her number off the top of my head. Hang on just 1 second.
Crystal, Mara.
Is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, this is Kiana Clark. I was wanting to speak with your supervisor, and I'm not quite certain on how to report the misconduct and criminal activity, because I keep getting referred to get mental health treatment, and then in addition to that, can't get it when I try. So I'm just not quite certain on when you guys will get accountability for your actions. You've been getting away with this madness almost a decade. Okay, thank you. Can you please have your supervisor call me?
Thank you for calling Inspired by the Christ Church. How may I help you?
Yes, may I have your name?
Hello?
Yes, can I have
May I help you, please?
Yes, may I have your name?
No, may I help you, please?
What did I call?
May I help you?
What did
May I help the Inspired by the Christ Church?
You sure?
I am.
So each day, the time now is 8:38. I've lost count. It's psychological abuse. So all these people, scammers, they're hanging up in my face as torment. I've had to deal with this years under the radar. So it's designed to have you feel tormented and oppressed, trying to get help to flee abuse that the government's enlisted in, knowing no one would ever believe my story. But that's untypical for a church to hang up in someone's face when they're asking who they're speaking with. But how many people did not want to disclose their name and their personal, that's typical to ask for someone's name. Why are so many people trying to conceal it? They hung up again. This is the church I got drug out of. They don't want me asking questions about that. Here's the number. I was a member of this church a decade. That was over a decade. It was painful. But I've been repeatedly betrayed by churches.
You have successfully reached the Inspiring Body of Christ
Now
Church,
I'm on
where
a
Dr.
voicemail.
Ricky Rush
They don't want to
is
talk.
the proud pastor. We are so eager to hear from you, but at this time...
Wait, there's not those people.
I'm sorry, who am I speaking with?
It's Officer Lewis.
Okay, I have a question. I was begging for my life at a church that I attended decades, Inspiring Body of Christ. And then they came to me outside when I tried to come up a follow-up time after I got body slammed on the concrete. So I came back because I attended the church decades, and they rushed outside and met me outside to give me a criminal trespass. At the time, I didn't realize that I was being monitored and stopped, because how would they know it's a big church to come outside and meet me, a group full of people? And it was like intimidating. But they met me outside and to tell me that I had a criminal trespass and I can't come back for trying to flee abuse. So I went to the church that I had attended for decades, and I was robbed of all my support systems. And the church said, wait on the police. They will tell you why it happened. I said, what are you talking about? What do you mean wait on the police department? They will tell me why I got drugged out of this church and body slammed on the concrete for begging for help when I was terrified for my life. Nonetheless, they had me wait several hours. The police department never came. So if you can give me a follow-up, what is making me believe is that the police department is committing crimes, monitoring me illegally on my abuser's payroll and enforcing people to leave me in as abuse. That's what it appears to me. But I just needed validation. So for some reason, Inspiring Body of Christ won't talk to me and think that I need to talk to the police department on why I got assaulted on their church grounds.
Okay, I don't know, man. I wouldn't be able to look that up unless you gave me some kind of...
Well, the problem of it is I tried to get the records, and they escorted me out because they only gave me 3 records that the police department chose out of almost 100 reports. Because I would get threatened multiple different times a day, attacked several times, pickpocketed, people run off roads, cars speeding up like they're going to hit me, false reports, people slandering me, all kinds of thefts. Repeatedly, I couldn't get my mail, tormented, violated, trapped on trains and buses, threatened repeatedly over and over, prank calls, cyber crimes, identity theft, issues with my credit card, all kind of different things. So it built up to a lot of issues because it was so much madness. Places burning my food, then giving me criminal trespasses, places I didn't know telling me to get out and giving me a criminal trespass. When I walked in, I didn't even know them. Slandered by places that I got food where I couldn't go back and get food. I'm trying to order food that comes with broccoli at another location. They deny me my food, and when they didn't have the broccoli in it, and gave me a refund, and I caught the bus to get food. But this would happen repeatedly under the radar. Arrested at racetrack, asking them where their food was. They said talk to the police, and they took my freedom until they found out how many arrests that I had at the Bachman station. So it built up to a lot of reports. That was Officer Watkins. He lied about it. But just for simply trying to purchase food at racetrack, I was arrested until they found out how many false arrests I had. So these reports really escalated up because it was so much mayhem that I went through, and none of it was investigated.
Whatever they gave you in open records, that's the only thing, that you have. I can't help you with anything else you're talking about.
But this is how I've been railroaded. But it's the problem. The problem of it is people aren't willing to help, but it's the criminal for them not to in a lot of positions. They're being dishonest. So the conspiracy to violate rights is a felony charge, and all these people unwilling to help, leaving me in my abuse and torment and violations, that it's criminal for armies full of people to not help. So I'm just trying to see when people will get accountability for denying me law enforcement and racking up all these felonies with no accountability. There's mandatory reporting that no one's doing, and if they can't help, for some people, is a misdemeanor charge. And they haven't got them.
That's not something I can help you with. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, this is what I've been getting. I'm just trying to build up a paper trail. Would you like my YouTube channel so you can hear yourself on it and everything that I experienced this morning? The time is just now 8:45.
That's okay, ma'am. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I want more views because I'm not able to really have a normal life like other people. I like to give you my channel.
Okay, have a good day, ma'am.
They keep transferring me over to voicemail.
The Worship Center receptionist
They won't answer
is
the
not
phone at Oak Cliff
available.
Bible
Record
Fellowship.
your message
Police
at the
came
tone. When you are
to interrupt
finished,
me for trying to get help there. I asked for the church for help. I was intimidated, bullied, threatened to criminal trespass. Then the police department came. My phone stopped recording the cover for it. The police department came and had me removed. So here's the thing. When you're in these environments, trying to flee abuse is a terrifying experience in itself. Any woman that is going through a domestic abuse crisis, sitting in that is already terrifying enough alone. So for some women, going to reach out to make that extra step and being courageous to reach out for help like I did, then you have the government illegally monitoring you at church with you in corruption and criminal activity, infuriated that you're trying to flee abuse that they are enlisted in, enlisting all your environments to conceal their crimes and leave you in their abuse under the radar, knowing no one would ever believe my story. So they witnessed me reaching out for help. I'm being stalked and monitored. Stalking is a felony charge. Even if you have a badge and gun, Secret Service, CIA, or whoever you are doing it. It's still a felony charge, even if you're powerful enlisting stalkers to do it. So then the stalkers that are in my environments that people would not believe unless you see it, see that I'm trying to flee their abuse. So they're abusing, I have this badge and gun. Don't you help her flee us. Then the churches that you have a badge and gun, I'm just a pastor. Okay, we'll commit the crime with you. They don't know. So then all of a sudden I'm getting bullied and violated, but reaching out to a church people that I think have integrity because it's a church. So then the police department or whoever it is behind the scenes are flashing these credentials and listing people to commit crimes. So now my arrest is threatened and I'm intimidated and bullied for trying to flee abuse. No counseling, no love. A lot of them don't give me options for food pantries. I reach out to be in groups, involvement, ignored. I reach out for assistance with sisters or elders, all kind of different things. All of it was denied at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. I don't know if they called me. I didn't get any of it. I they had a class for drawing and they had a Zumba class that I wanted to participate in that they've had for, I thought, decades, and then they claimed that it stopped when I got there. So this is what it is. Yes, I think I spoke with you as well as Marty. Is Marty no longer there?
No, he's not, ma'am.
Okay, well, I talked to you about getting direction and assistance to get information on how to flee abuse that the government has been enlisted in.
Okay.
And you said that you...
Cameron, how can I help you?
I'm not quite certain of what happened. I was talking to a lady that I've already talked to, and she transferred me over while I was talking to her.
Okay, no problem. What's going on? What you need?
What's your name?
My name is Cameron.
Okay, I don't think that I've talked to you before. Yes.
No, ma'am, I have never talked to you.
Okay, I'm fleeing a domestic violence crisis that has involved the government, and there's been a lot of misconduct and criminal activity with government officials. So I'm being denied witness protection and all kind of law enforcement and protection to combat the abuse that I'm subjected to in criminal activity.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what to do because every direction I've turned, the police department and government officials has intercepted all help I could possibly get, even at churches, with no accountability.
Okay. So let me see. We do have a public integrity unit where they investigate all those types of crimes and things like that. Would you like me to give you their number?
I've already contacted the public integrity unit, and they covered for crimes. I tried to report identity theft, and my arrest was threatened. The police department told me to go get documentation from Legacy Texas Bank. And I went to go get the documentation, and Legacy Texas Bank was trying to sabotage the printout of the theft of $2,000. and I directed on
Okay.
her on how to get to it.
Oh,
She said that I want you to know how extreme that this misconduct is. She said that you can't look at it. I said, ma'am, this is my account. What do you mean? So then she was
right.
forced to print out the
So,
documentation, which she tried to withhold. So then I brought the documentation back, and the police department was confused that I had it, because they told me that I needed to get the documentation to report this identity theft and how $2,000 in a crisis was stolen from me. So then when I brought it back, they threatened my arrest because they didn't think that I guess they enlisted the bank to not give me the documentation. But when she got
right.
trapped in committing the crime of being in cahoots with the police department, she went ahead, was forced to print me out the document. She was over the director over whatever branch that was and pretended like she didn't know how to print it out. So I directed her through it. So nonetheless, I
Okay,
came
so
back
tell
with
me
the
this.
documentation and they threatened my arrest. So I just want you to know what I was subjected to.
Okay, so you were just calling to let me know, or did you? Because what I'm trying to get to is it sounds like you exhausted all of your options. So I'm just trying to see how can I help you.
What did I call?
Huh?
What did I call?
Where did you call?
Yes. Where do you
Where did
work?
you call?
Where do you work?
Who are you trying to reach?
I'm not quite certain why you don't want me to know what I call. I just want to know what department you're working with because I got transferred with you, and I don't know why you withhold who you're working
Oh
with.
no, I'm not withholding anything. I'm just trying to figure out. You dialed the number, so I'm just trying to see.
I didn't dial the
who
number.
you were
I was
trying to reach
transferred
when
with
you called the
to
number.
you. Can you tell me who you're with? What department you're with?
You don't know who you called?
I was transferred to you. Do you know who I called?
Who transferred you to me?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What did I call?
Okay, just give me 1 second, okay?
You don't know who I called? You don't know who you work with?
I don't know who you were trying to reach. I'm trying to get to the bottom of who transferred you to me and who are you
All
trying
I
to
know
reach.
is I called the family violence do you do protection orders where you work?
Yes, would you like to apply for a protective order?
Can you tell me what you do? I've been experiencing
Yes,
this
I
all
work in
morning, in
family
fact,
violence.
years. I'm sorry?
I work in family violence.
Okay, what's your position?
I'm working at the front desk. I answer phones, so I'm just trying to see how can I help you.
Okay, the other person worked at the front desk, and she said I was working with her with a protection order, and she transferred me to you. But the suspicious thing is when I came in person, marshals came and removed me and threatened my arrest for trying to get a protection order.
Okay, well, no, you don't have to. The thing is, you don't have to even come in to apply for a protective order. I can take your information right now, and we can move it to the next step after that.
I just wanted direction because I've went through this and it keeps getting denied. So I wanted avenues on resources on what I can do. The integrity unit, where's the advocate that calls the police department and advocates for women?
Well, the thing is, it sounds like you've exhausted all of your options.
I'm not really being heard. There's advocates, but I've been robbed of for a decade. There's advocates that call the police department.
What I'm trying to get you to understand is I'm going to take your information for the protective order so that you don't have to get transferred around to different people and get blocked by whatever is happening. So I can take your basic information for your protective order, and then it can be done, and you just wait for a phone call.
I was asking for resources. The advocates that call.
Okay, I can email you resources as well. You need resources? I can email you resources. I can tell you how to access them on the Dallas County website. Which one would you like to do?
Okay, so as far as advocates that call the police department and follow up on corruption, and
we don't do that here in family violence. That sounds like a totally different department. So I could even
I haven't been able to find that department for 10 years. Where is the department located where there's an advocate that will call and follow up and advocate for a party that's getting violated?
Unit, but you said that you've already talked to public integrity and you got nowhere.
Oh, so the public.
I can transfer you to public integrity. I can take your information for a protective order, or I can give you the resources that you're looking for.
Okay, can I explain something to you?
I can help you outside of that.
Can I explain something to you?
Yes, ma'am. You've already explained.
So when I was at multiple different locations, okay, and then I remind them that they're not following job tasks, they would remind me your options are this or this. So what I'm trying to do is establish a paper trail that my rights are being violated deliberately, and I know that's hard to prove. So for some people,
family violence, where you call,
I'm not able to speak from call to call.
You have one of two options. we can
You were
give them a
doing it because I'm
call,
not able to
or
communicate why I
I can
called.
transfer you.
What I'm seeking, I'm not able to communicate and get the resources that I'm seeking because I'm not able to speak. You are doing that.
Okay, well, listen, ma'am. I'm trying to get you to
If
understand
someone
something.
repeatedly
If
calls
you
and
are
makes phone
talking,
calls, why are they robbed even with family members or their ability to speak? That's
Miss
psychologically
Kiana,
abusive.
Miss Kiana, what you're looking for and what you're trying to do, we do not do it here. So you're going to constantly hit a wall when you're calling here in family violence. I can either hang up so you can get
What's
to
your
the right
website
place, or I can
address? What's your
transfer you
website
somewhere
address?
else.
What's your website address?
It's DallasCounty.org.
Okay, one moment.
www.dallascounty.org.
One moment.
If there's nothing,
One
if
moment.
that's the only thing,
One moment.
okay, I have other calls coming through. I can't hold.
I can't get a pen to write it with.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and get your opinion. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, so you don't want me to know how to navigate through the site, dallascounty.org? Where's the Family Violence Division? How do you now? I'm trying to get to your site. I don't know why you would need to go when I'm trying to get to your services.
Because it seems like we're just going around in circles. So I'm just trying to get you the information that you need.
I'm trying to navigate through your site to know what your website to go to, ma'am. I repeatedly experience this where I don't see where it says a family violence and information on how to get a protection order. Why would you not want me to know how to navigate through the site?
I just told you you can give me your information to apply for a protective order.
I would like to go to the site, ma'am. I'm being robbed of options and my rights.
I can either tell you how to get to it on the website, or
yes,
I can take
that's
your
what
information for a protective order.
How do I get to it on the site, ma'am, is what I'm asking you.
Okay, at the top, you can type in that family violence or go to services. At the top, you see where it says About Us, Departments, Government Services.
I see vehicle registration, housing programs.
Okay, you're on the wrong website.
Okay, dallascounty.org?
Yes.
Okay, where at dallascounty.org? Where do I go at dallascounty.org?
Do you see at the top it says Departments?
Yes.
Okay. Click on Departments.
Because I thought you said go to Services.
Well, there is a Services button, but you said you wanted a protective order. How to get to the information for protective orders? I don't see it there, so I'm sending you to the Departments tab.
Okay, Department. Now what?
Okay, you'll click on District Attorney.
Okay.
And then under Quick Links, do you see where it says Protective Orders? Do you see where it says Protective Orders? Okay, once you click that, you have everything you need. At the very bottom, it says Resources, and there's a comprehensive list for resources: domestic violence safety plan, family violence and sexual assault prosecution, and protective order information.
Okay, let's see. So it used to have your site changed. It used to have services that you guys provided.
Okay, ma'am, you're switching back and forth about what it is that you're wanting. You said you wanted protective order information. I've guided you to this information. I don't know what the website used to have.
I just don't understand because I know in a conspiracy trying to intimidate someone, torment them, and oppress them in the free right of services.
I guided you to the protective order page. That's all I have.
I just don't understand why each call that I've made, and it's only 9:07. In fact, decades, all parties are arguing with me and oppressing me and tormenting me, trying to get services. Because typically, treating someone like this is termination.
I'm going to hang up the phone so I can take another call. Okay.
We didn't get anywhere because I'm asking for services, and this would be like...
These are the services that we offer. Protective order, victim services, and that's it.
What are the victim services? I didn't see the victim services. That's what I was trying to communicate, that I didn't see the services that you offer, and you started an argument.
You have to look at the page. If you look on the left side, it says victim services.
Okay, the left side?
Yes, the left side, there's like a bunch of drop downs. It says victim services.
Okay, one moment. I couldn't get to it because you were starting an argument. So I see services.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hang up.
You don't want me to know how to navigate through the site to get the services?
Whatever you think. Goodbye.
They're not offering it, so they don't want me to see the services. I'm really ready to the point to where I'm ready to leave this country. Because if people aren't being held accountable for defrauding someone out of funds, taking their kids, and violating them every day, and listing other locations to be criminals, why am I here? But how do I know if I relocate, I'm not a wealthy woman, that they'll just start the same thing up in another location? How do I know that my abuser won't bribe another location? And then I relocate for nothing. They answered and then hung up. Immediately hung up. I was calling the Family Violence Division again, and they just answered and immediately hung up. That's the number right there. That's what Ibach Church did. They hung up again. It's not registering where they had just hung up. It's saying 1 minute ago. But why would I lie? Hello? Not again. I went through a lot to try to get to you. Amazon? You don't want to speak? It just you have to come to the point to where you realize, the fighting and being strong-willed, that you just simply don't have rights that other people have. You just don't. The army's too big, and one person and then law enforcement enforcing your abuse is just like the e-tech said, I just have to put it in God's hands. I'm powerless. If someone is flashing badges and guns on civilians and telling them you will violate her, how do you combat something like that? If you're on your own phone and can't make your calls, can't order online, repeatedly begging for your life with families and anyone you could beg to get hung up on, violated and ignored and cursed out, it has to come to a common ground to where you realize that, it is what it is. All the fighting and all the different strategies to combat an army full of people is David and Goliath. You would have to see something like this. How do you express to someone an experience like this without just recording it and showing it? And then all conspirators are furious that you're recording crimes. So let me call again, and they don't want me to get the package. I'm just concerned about someone breaking into the Amazon account and not being deprived of all law enforcement. I've had identity theft and can't report it, and my arrest threatened. Multiple different times, as you can see, funds were stolen, even off of a food stamp card. But I don't have the rights to report these crimes. So maybe they don't want me to know about someone breaking into the account, which is why they're not responding. Like I said, it's just a, concern since I keep repeatedly being robbed and can't get law enforcement. So you go through an approval process, get placed on hold, and now got to start over again. I experienced something weird, and I don't know what's going on with my calls. So I got a call from a 619 number that said California, and then they hung up. I was on the phone trying to speak with Amazon. They hung up, and then when I tried to answer it, I called back, and it says that your number is not allowed to call Amazon. The kind of number you have cannot receive calls from Amazon. So I hung up and then called again. Does that sound normal? Can some numbers be not appropriate for dialing Amazon?
Before we begin with your concern, can you please provide to me your name for security purposes
That is,
and your email as well?
What's your name?
My name is Mac.
Okay, I get spoof calls. So that was my question. Is there any numbers for calls that Amazon don't accept, phone numbers?
I'll be going ahead to check my resources. Could you please provide to me your name and phone number as well for security purposes?
Ma'am, I don't understand why I have to be placed on hold. Hello?
I'll be checking my resources regarding the information that you're asking.
Your resources.
Yes. Because you have mentioned that you have contacted Amazon and you've been blocked. Is that correct?
I don't know what happened. It just said, I don't know what was going on. I just never.
That is why I'm checking my resources regarding that information. So please stay on the line and I'll be putting this call on a brief hold, okay?
And now I don't want to be placed on a hold. I just, if you can check your resources. Well, so you're saying that certain numbers get blocked from Amazon?
That is the information that I'm checking. So please stay on the line while I'm checking in here so that I could provide the correct information for you.
Well, but when I didn't have a YouTube channel, those police department would come out, knock, knock, and you just floored. Oh, you've been on your phone trying to escape their abuse. Knock, knock. It's the police. At the bus stop had police. And I was like, what is happening? How? How can you abuse this much power, repeat felony? But it's okay in all these different departments, racked up felonies, misdemeanor, thousands of charges. Then it'll take my freedom, courts enlisted, attorneys, jail staff, threatened by inmates, assaults by inmates, put on lockdown and corruption, left in jail with time served. And how? But like I said, panicking and just all this emotional distress and can't get therapy, can't order online, prank calls, harassment threads, and churches enlisted in abuse and cover up and torment, mind games. It is what it is. It is. I mean, we're going on 10 plus years. So I just common ground that some people, this channel is just to let you know how some people live. Some people don't have rights and they're trapped in the civil rights movement. You would think that in this country, when people don't abide by the law, they get accountability for it. They don't. You can break into someone's phone, make sure you don't go to jail for your crimes, rob them of funds, left and right thousands, someone that's already homeless. Nothing done. It's okay because it's government officials doing it. Enlist churches to be criminals. You keep her from service, and in fact, I want you to torment her and scare her. Put her out the Bible study when I'm mad and then blame her for it. Let us walk around the church and enlist people to bully and do strange things with guns and badges for the intimidation at church. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. So just wanted to inform you that as per further checking our resources in here, we actually don't block contacts here on Amazon. Can you, if I may ask, just to further elaborate on the issue, when you mentioned that you received an information that you are not allowed to receive contacts from Amazon, where did you get that information from?
It was I'll call it back and see if it changes. My calls were spoofed, but nonetheless, I got an email saying that someone was trying to change my password. Since I have identity theft and I'm denied law enforcement, I don't know what's going on, if someone's trying to order or what's happening. I got a email saying that someone was trying to change my password.
Alright, so regarding the information that you have mentioned earlier, that you received an email or a message as saying that you are not allowed to receive contacts from Amazon, I would advise for you to contact your phone provider regarding that, because they might be the one who blocked the access for you to get contacts from Amazon. However, regarding with the issues with your account,
it's my phone covers for crimes. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Are you able to hear me? My phone covers for crimes and it's trying to it sounds muffled and it's breaking up to try to conceal what you're saying. But I did say that I'm more concerned about my password being changed. Without my consent, I got an email.
Regarding that, I can definitely help you out with that. I just wanted to get back with this information just in case that you might have not heard it, since you mentioned that you...
I did. This is like a form of psychological abuse. Because each place I'm going, I'm asking questions and the question is redirected to something that I didn't ask for. we're over that, but if you have to go ahead and elaborate on that, if you must do that, go ahead. But I did ask you about the password, something that I'm concerned about, and then I'm placed on hold asking about serious things. It's a pattern for me for an extended amount of time, but if that's what you must do, I don't have rights.
Okay, so if that's the case regarding what you're concerned about your account encountering unauthorized activities, you mentioned that you have received an email stating that someone is trying to change your password. Is that right?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so regarding this one, I would advise for you to change your password immediately. Do you still have access to your account so that I can help you out with this one?
I wanted to make sure that was accurate. Was someone trying to change my password?
Actually, we don't have access to that information. That is why we're doing some preventative measures so that we can prevent this type of instances to happen again. So if you could go ahead and access your Amazon application, please, so that I can assist you on changing your password and your email as well, if you do have access to it.
No, I'm not getting law enforcement. It was probably a scam email. I have a question. So am I denied? I can't use Amazon? Because I haven't been able to order online. I just have to come to grips that it is what it is. So am I not allowed to order from Amazon?
You are actually allowed, but here's what happened. Since you mentioned that you have encountered some unauthorized activities on your account, your future or your recent orders were put on hold and canceled because we were preventing, or Amazon is preventing, for these unauthorized activities on your account to be done or to be processed. So that is why your recent orders, whether it was authorized by you or not, they were canceled so that we cannot allow that purchase. However, I just wanted to confirm, can you please tell me those orders that you have authorized so that I can report it, so that the next time, or that when I submit a report about these orders,
Just to be this
the next
freaking.
future orders that you'll be placing will be successful.
It's not on
Or,
accident.
Um,
It's just
I'm
forced
sorry.
to be around con artists and scammers. Okay, so I don't know what to do. So that I don't know what's happening. All I want to know is if I'm going to be allowed. That's not what happened. There was not unauthorized activity, but I don't have rights. So whatever people tell me lies and then force pathological lies on me, so I don't have rights. And I'm just coming to that realization. Why fight an army full of people that want to slander, lie, and con and hold you down? It's just causing emotional distress, and I'm not able to get any kind of therapy, period, or support. So I'm on my own with this, and but nonetheless, so I don't know what to do. The only thing I said is if I'm not allowed to order from Amazon or anywhere online, Lyft, or anywhere else possible, I just want to know. What do you want me to do? Because that's not what happened. And all I wanted to know is if I wanted the success book, and that meant a lot because I don't have a support system and I wanted to feel empowered. So, but I don't know what you want me to do. You have the right credit card number. My partial order was, I don't know what you want me to do. I like my order, but I'm not allowed it.
As I mentioned, the reason why your recent orders were canceled is because Amazon is preventing these orders, because we don't have a way to identify if these orders were authorized by you, since your account encountered an unauthorized activity due to the changing of passwords. So
The password just came yesterday. The password just came yesterday as an alibi on why I wasn't able to order. They use that as an alibi on why I'm being mistreated trying to order, but I've experienced this years. So now the con of it is that someone changed the password. What if I changed it? You don't know that. You're not supposed to know, remember? So what if I authentically wanted to change my own password? What will give you the right to cancel my orders because I wanted to change my password? But I didn't. Nonetheless, so what are we
The
there?
report that you have authorized your orders so that it will go through or reinstated. And by the next time that you purchase that item, it will not be canceled anymore if it has been reported that it's not unauthorized.
Let's try this. Hold on. Okay, it says order placed. Let's see if it cancels again. It's saying that I saved on shipping. It was free. I didn't even pay attention if I got charged for shipping. The last order was free. You there?
Yes.
Did I get charged for shipping?
Do you want to provide the order number so I can check the system about that order that you placed?
Okay, hold on. Okay, I didn't get charged for shipping. Okay, let's see if it cancels. I went through an awful lot to have rights that other people have. So let's see how this goes. Okay, thank you.